Hey ladies and germs, it's Acadia National Park here. Wait until you see this. Oh my god, it's unbelievable. You can see the Ireland. It's unbelievable. I'm a Father Guido Sarducci here in the Maine. I'm very happy to be here at the Schoodic Point here in Maine. I know the Pope would, he would want me here. Okay, I got about an hour and a half drive to the airport. Eating the rest of my fried clams and rosemary fries. Unfortunately, I spilled the wild blueberry sauce, which is really sad. Oh, wow. So to the right is Schoodic Point. This whole area is kind of famous Acadia National Park area. Schoodic Point is one of the most popular areas. I think this place is pretty thronged with tourists in the wintertime, from what I've read, because I think it's the only national park in Maine. I've noticed that people have been pretty good drivers. Sometimes when you get to places where people don't interact with other people very much, I've seen this in Vermont and also upstate New York, people are really jerks when they drive in some rural areas. There's a sense of ownership and entitlement that other drivers in other areas don't have. Pretty vista coming up. Over here on the right, look at this point. Oh my god, the fishing opportunities here. So I already saw, just at the first little inlet I was in, this is exactly like where I used to go in Rhode Island and where I learned to do that striper, like night fishing for striped bass, because these are like, they call these sometimes tidal rivers, but in any event, you have a lot of the same water movement, but it's salt water, as you do in rivers. And as the tides change in various inlets coming in and out of these salt ponds, predatory fish will sit at the mouth of the inlet and almost exactly like trout do, and just like sit there and wait for stuff to come. And that's why you can use actually a lot of the same fishing techniques you use for trout for large predatory fish in those situations. And I was just fishing that. I mean, I didn't see any evidence of any big fish. It's maybe kind of a seasonal thing, but I did see a number of schools of healthy looking. They were either needlefish or elvers, which are immature eels. They're almost impossible to tell apart. But I watched a school, about 10 of them, cross one of these saltwater kind of river inlets. And I kept waiting for a big striper to come from under and, as they say, flush the toilet. Oh my God, there it is. That's Schoodic Point, I think. Wow, this is incredible. Oh wow. There's just all these little rocky islands, but instead of being little barren deserts, like the one I was on that I took the video before, they're just chock filled with pines, lichens, scrub grasses, rose hips. Oh wow. Okay, this is called Blueberry Hill. We're gonna pull off and take a look. So that's where I found my thrill. It was down here on Blueberry Hill. See? Don't remove rocks. Oh wow. Look at this. And there's looking back. Look, there's the point there. It's hard to see. The video looks a little less zoomed in than my eyesight, but just the textures and the colors. I would have to probably take up doing watercolors again if I came here. I really think so. Lots of lichen growing on rocks also. The current origin theory for fungi is that it was a organism that evolved to essentially eat rocks, because all the oldest fungi fossils are fungi that have these sort of really primitive. They're very primitive. They can sort of make these things that can break down rocks, and they can't do much else. Reproduction was asexual, more advanced. Fungi began to reproduce sexually, which is the way that most fungi today do, the kind of higher order stuff. As you get down into the yeasts and the simpler stuff, they still reproduce asexually just by dividing themselves. But it's amazing to see these rocks covered in something that that's slowly eating them. So I definitely see it's getting dark here a little bit early. It's what, 3:30? Looks like 5:30 back home. Which is why an indoor garden is important, and also being active outside in the winter is important too. Whether it's in the day or in the night, but being active in the winter. I really look forward to it.